When you wear a nameplate like the CBR nameplate, like this Honda CBR500R does, you've got a lot to live up to. You've got to be sporty, you've got to be edgy, you've got to be cutting edge, and in the case of the 500R here, you need to also be a stepping stone to the CBR600 or even the CBR1000. Does the CBR500R make it? Well, we've spent some time with it, and so here are 5 things you need to know about the CBR500R. Number 1 is the looks. The CBR500R just looks great. Look at the nose section here. Angular, styled, aggressive, really cool, really fitting for this CBR namesake. You might remember the CBR500R from a few years back, had the square headlights, kind of boxy looking. Not the most attractive thing in the world, but to me, the new CBR500R looks awesome. And that's all capped off by this nose section. I know I already said that, but I gotta say it again because it looks so good. Angular, pointed, aggressive, everything a bike with the CBR name should have. Number 2, the CBR500R is a really comfortable motorcycle to ride, which you may not necessarily associate with CBRs. In fact, there's a joke amongst the most staff that the CBR500 maybe should be called the VFR 500 because the handlebars are raised up, the seat has nice thick cushioning in it. It's a really comfortable bike. It's a really good lightweight sport bike for a normal sized adult. The bars are a natural distance away. The pegs are pretty low, but not too low. It's a sporty bike, maybe not necessarily a sport bike, and maybe this is where the CBR name isn't exactly fitting for the 500R. It's not as hardcore aggressive bike as the 600 or even the 1000, but you know, Honda called it a CBR, so here we go. Number 3, the CBR500R just doesn't have the same performance chops as the CBR600 or the 1000. That's where the 500R kind of strays from the CBR name. And so when you see a bike that says CBR, especially the 500, you expect performance, right? And the 500R kind of lacks in that department. Makes 44 horse to the wheel, 430 odd pounds. Not the most sporty thing in the world, even though it does look the part. The suspension is plush and bouncy, makes it a great street bike. The feeling is excellent, but once you go onto a racetrack, it loses all of its muster, whereas a 600 or a 1000 obviously are meant for that. So when you see that CBR nameplate and you apply to the 500R, it doesn't quite translate as you would expect. That said, judged purely on its own, the 500R is a fantastic street bike. Number 4, the CBR500R is a heavy motorcycle. Like I mentioned in the last point, 430 some odd pounds. Compared to its rivals in the class, that's up to 75, 80 pounds heavier than those other bikes in the class. And those other bikes are making about the same horsepower. So you're giving up a ton of weight for the same horsepower. Kind of makes the decision a little bit difficult to sway in the side of the CBR500R. And number 5 is the price. At $6,500, it's also the most expensive bike in this class. You've got bikes like the Kawasaki Ninja 400 or the KTM RC390, which are both $1,000 less. Even more so if you opt for different colors or non-ABS versions. And suddenly the CBR500R becomes a bit of a struggle to recommend when there are, granted, subjectively, better motorcycles on the market. However, if you're in the market for a comfortable, largely street-focused motorcycle, the CBR500R is not a bad choice. So if you like this video, click the like button and leave us a nice comment. If you didn't like the video, click the like button anyway, and tell us what we can do better in the comments below. Until next time, ride safe and we'll see you later.